All right. Yes. Welcome, guys. Welcome to another stream, another podcast, another edition here on the Chaos Rain Show. I am Chaos Rain here. Let me stir this up a little bit now. Today, we're going to look into more of this thing with the church and black folks, and then some other things we might talk about. But normally, the focus will be on this. Hello, Mr. Steele. How you doing? Hope everything's going well with you, sir. And like always, guys, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. And also leave comments on every video, things you like, things you don't like. And just generally, there's always something to comment if you get far into the video. Feedback is always a necessity, not always a requirement, it's a necessity. Because you know when something's hitting, you always want to let the person know that produced the live stream or video a little piece of your mind. Oh, and another thing, please support the channel also. Hold on. All right, I don't want you to hear that in the background because I am typing, and I noticed it's kind of loud when I press the keys in this keyboard, but don't worry, I eliminate that because you know how it is. People don't like it when they hear background sounds. But always support channel. Hit the super chat or cash app like always, and I think the cash app's running down on the stream. You know, I don't get much cash apps, but always most people don't want to give YouTube what's it 10% of the revenue. So, you know, if you feel like I deserve a good 95% of the so-called money, then Cash App will be the way to go. But it's always optional. Let me see what's going on here. All right. Let's see if I got anything else here. I'm just checking my notifications. All right. All of them are sent. The links to follow me are the above. You can follow me on Twitter at ChaosRain7. You can add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Ray on Facebook. Join my Discord service. Follow me on Rumble. I am going to put some videos. I'm not sure if I'm going to live stream on Rumble yet. I'm still deciding how I'm going to go about that. But yes, please follow me on Rumble as well. I have I think over 30 followers. I'm trying to get to 100 at least because it is still much more of an open platform where people could do pretty much more stuff than they can do over this platform. But like I said, I'm trying to grow the following a little bit before I could really go ahead, because what I learned about Rumble personally, and before I begin the stream and begin the subject at hand, what I've learned about Rumble is a lot of people don't like the user prompt or the interface of Rumble like that. It's not as effective like YouTube per se. And if right now, if I go to my Rumble, right now, since I'm talking about it, let me look at it right now. I don't want to be shooting off the hip. Let's take a look at it. Where's Rumble? Oh wow, that's not good. I'm not gonna be able to get to any. Okay. Yeah, this is much better. All right. Yeah, Rumble is still an interface that people are still not comfortable using it. And I could probably get a little bit more stronger following on Rumble. But I know most of you that's on here on YouTube, y'all still like YouTube as it is, as it stands. I do too, but really, we're going to expand different platforms because there are some things your content creators are not going to be always be telling you on live air. I might, but there might be a price on that in the long term, in the long run. So, like I said, it's always good to follow me on all other social media pages. So, follow me on Rumble, C-Rain23 Rumble. And last but not least, become a member of the Chaos Rain channel. Membership guys perks. Join the membership of the Chaos Rain show as well. And do I got anything? What else I'm thinking? Is it this one right here? I signed it. Okay. Let me pin this up here. All right, we good. All right. So let's begin, guys. Let's not waste more time on this. The title is Black Folks Exodus from the Church, a Blessing in Disguise. And one other thing I do want to show, since I'm talking about the subject, matter of fact, I'll show you better than anything else because the thumbnails will speak for itself. Where's the picture? Yes, here is the picture right here. I didn't have time to make a super slide on this because I didn't have time for it. But nonetheless, this is the picture I'm talking about. I'm gonna show you right here. Let me show you the picture right here, guys. What I'm talking about. As you could tell. Oh, what the hell is this? I don't want that stupid crap. I want to hide this. As you see on the one left-hand corner, hey, TD Jakes, I'm in here. Our good pastor from New Orleans or Texas has been, what's word? He's something wrong with him. Either he's getting ill or something. Y'all forgot this pastor. I think he's now in his 70s now or late 60s. TD Jakes. So rather you hear the rumors about him, rather he might engage in a little pokeyman activity or just downright about that life, you know, if you know what I mean. TD Jakes is very influential in the black community in regards to the black church, just like Creflo Dollar, which I think this is Creflo Dollar on the right hand corner. I could be wrong. But you know, the guy always smells like money and always want to take your money. And I'm not sure why anybody would follow a pastor that called himself Creflo Dollar. I'm just saying. And you know, the video that I'm playing and maybe continuing is going to speak more on this church exodus. And this is really more focused on, from what I'm hearing, black women are leaving the church. But really, why now are you leaving the church? Hasn't church been good to you, black women? Hasn't church been telling you what you want to hear for the last 40 or 50 years? Had the black pastors gave enough of the dick in you and, you know, blow your back out to the point where you decide, say, you don't want no more pounding, so you accept the pounding so you could find a man, hopefully someone that is an actual man on earth that's physical form, not some spiritual God or a spiritual man called Jesus Christ. Say, Jesus Christ, my boyfriend. When I heard a dumb chick talk that nonsense, it lets me think. You're delusional. You're insane. You need your head check-in. But nonetheless, let's begin with the video. Fair use, fair use.
The fact that you're trying to say this did not quantify me is really about your relationship with God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. Okay, so what does relationship with God look like? How can we tell you from the bitches that sucking dick? How can we tell you from the old Black China right now?
You can't tell by the ones that's been engaged in throat throat goat activity. And you should not tell, because we all know most women love to engage in throat goat activity. They love it with a passion. They love it. They love it. They love it. They so love it that they will go around, and I will do a video on this particular, on the one they call about Miss Giselle Bundchen got knocked up by what do you call it? A trainer, a personal trainer. And I know it's a lot of black men got in their feelings about that. And I'm thinking, that's none of your business. But we're not going to that. But it lets you know, saying that a woman will always get on her knees when the timing is right, when the opportunity presents itself. Do not be fooled. Do not be fooled, gentlemen. So we can't tell the difference between you as a church girl woman or the one that's out here getting your being somebody's dispensary and getting your throat banged out heavily, nicely. All right. All right. Let's continue. Fair use, fair use.
Right now, because if you get with somebody and they have a problem with what you're wearing, you're gonna have pushback. Well, you can't tell me you're not God.
And that's who all I have to answer to, and that's that.
If you are using your body and if you are using sex to seduce a man that is not your husband, that is a form of witchcraft. The Bible tells us in 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 23, it says, rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. So if you are using your body to seduce a man that is not your husband in hopes to keep him, in hopes to get him to stay, you are engaging in witchcraft because you are in a direct active rebellion against God.
Ooh. So, gentlemen, I don't know if you want to speak on this. I don't know if I can speak on this personally. Have you ever been in a situation in that moment when you look at this fine box, this nice little minx, and she's hollering at you, right? You might spit some game if you got game, or she might spit some of her own, right? And you have a nice little conversation, mostly out indoors in a public place, right at a bar or somewhere where people are conversating. And she just come at you, or one day, you just got that urge, I'm saying, let me see what this wants, right? And she up in there, you spitting, she's spitting, and y'all having a conversation, and it gets a little razzle dazzle, and then next thing you know, she wants to take you to a place to say you want to go somewhere else, and lo and behold, she'll sit there, and sometimes you might not notice or might not think about it. She might just pull down your pants and then just begin to seduce you, because one thing, she'll sit there, show you what she got underneath that shirt, that top, most likely. God knows she up here wearing the right color drawers, the ones that's like more the thong that does not have the G-string up in their backside, right? And then she just give you her mouth for pleasure, and you don't think of much nothing. And sometimes she whacks you off a little, and then eventually you hit it. You clap her cheeks and all that stuff. And next thing you know, you guys are comfortable in bed or whatever and then you might miraculously come across, she might have a wedding ring on, that nice diamond ring. You don't think much about it because, hey, she gave you some of her mouth in her box. You don't really think much because she did somewhat seduce you, because she don't give up about her husband if she's still married. Or let's be honest, she up here exploring her options like most women, and she just needs some phallus on the side. The point is this: women, if they are really into you like that, rather or not, they will seduce you for means to a greater end, to get what they want, or not even get what they want, but they just want to be satisfied. So she'll do that to you, a random dude. Now, in the case of her husband, if that's her husband. And I'm going to rewind this back to make sure what she's talking about, because I don't believe that is some form of witchcraft. I don't think so. But let me rewind back briefly. Okay. She says stay. I mean, listen. I have no problem she used her little body or whatever seduction needed to keep me around, because let's be honest, if I put a ring on it, baby, we have nothing to discuss. I can move freely. Hell, you can move freely as all as you want, because what says we're a union and we're not even really a union like that? I would make much to think of you being as my wife. So, you do what you gotta do to keep me around. It's a luxury in itself. It's really the prize, if you think about it. Because you're into me. Sometimes you might do some, or I'm not really into, and you had to do what's necessary to keep me around. I ain't knocking that. Do what you gotta do, baby. Let's run that again. Let's hear that again.
The sin of witchcraft. So if you are using your body to seduce a man that is not your husband in hopes to keep him, in hopes to get him to stay, you are engaging in witchcraft because you are in a direct act of rebellion against God.
AKA, if you had that baby because you think it was gonna keep that man, bitch, you're a witch. Okay. If you slept with this person, or you thought I was gonna entice him, I'm gonna walk past him and see if he gonna leave his girlfriend. I'm gonna do this to see if he I'm gonna just call him brother, best friend. He with somebody. And also another way to entice is not through sexuality all the time. It's definitely through being overly emotional, making someone responsible for your emotions. If you do not do these things, I am going to snap. Oh, you hurt me. You hurt me. You don't care about me for real because you made me feel this way. Not it and it's nothing in there where somebody actually intentionally hurt you. There's nothing there where a person even did anything to you. Really, you're creating these narratives to control the other person that you want to have gain over. If you are not a person that cannot identify that you're a fucking witch, I don't know what to tell you. That is literally a direct response to being somebody who's chaotic and who has.
Wait. Did someone say chaos? Chaos? But women are the natural chaos factors. They must bring some form of chaos in your life, one with the other, regardless how men view it. But if we are men today, and men, listen, I know y'all watching. Y'all types in the chat room. I know y'all watching. Y'all watching from clouds. Stop hating. I don't care what device you're using. You know you want to participate in this. Men, listen. If she's chaotic, you have to restore the order in which the world you live in today. You must restore that chaos. And if she cannot bring back to order, she must be discarded like anything else. Because what any other chaos leads to more chaos. But even as far as a woman will sit there, get herself pregnant by this dude, just to have a little piece of him and keep the baby that's a part of him and her. But let's more like say as part of her now, because he dropped seed in her, right? She's hoping and praying that this will keep you in with her permanently. That means you and her are like one, because sex is a divine energy that leads to one, right? And personally, that is the outcome she seeks, to keep you in, so you can continue and participate in this chaos with her. And we all know, right? Women cannot function without chaos. They can't live without the chaos. Tell me a woman that likes chaos. I'll tell you a woman that is you. For real. For real. Let's keep going.
Deceitful ways. This is why you have messages where they say, avoid the Christian woman, avoid the church girl. They're not just saying avoid church women because they have a problem with God, they have a problem with order. That's not usually what it is. It's the reason why they say church hoes is the biggest hoes. It's because something about us feel like when they teach that grace message. This is why I don't like churches, because they today they pander, and particularly they pander to messages if they have a predominantly female audience. So then they say stuff like, well, you know, you shouldn't feel uncomfortable, you know, just let God can judge you. And then they'll bring up Romans 7, and then they'll say, you know, but you know, where sin abounds, grace abounds even further. So then you have people out in the fucking world saying, oh my gosh, well, you know, you can't really judge me because God has grace. God has fucking grace. So therefore you can't say anything to me because of the grace of God. Yes, but then when you turn the page, it says, should we continue? Absolutely not, right? They kind of skip that. But I literally understand that they purposely skip certain things because they want the money. They want you to keep coming back. They want you to keep coming to these, getting this validation message. As long as you, if you look at the church building, though, the church building today is kind of set up like a hospital. You come here sick.
Well, it's more than a hospital. The church, as you see, as you know it, is an institution for creating more Negroes. And I mean Negroes in a bad way. You know the form how to make a Negro a Christian. Last time I checked. How to make them a Christian. That was an institution that made and groomed you to be a good slave. What is this? Okay. All right, let's keep going.
I give you a placebo effect. I give you a medicine. Medicine is not supposed to heal you. It's to keep you through it so you won't die. You live a little longer. It's just supposed to keep you coming back. And then when you out of the refill, guess what? You got to come back to re-up. That's what church is. It's not really giving you healing. It's not really giving you instruction. It's not really going anything. You have to go into the scripture if you say you believe. You also have to read things other than just the Bible. You have to read history. So when you're a person that is used to that, and you're a person that is you identify as a church person, a Christian person, whatever it is, I can probably tell you why I don't identify as Christian, because I'm not. I'm more of a person where I believe in God, and I try my hardest to follow order. Even though I have still make mistakes, right? I still make decisions. It is a hard fucking walk. Okay?
It's supposed to be hard. Like anything in life is never supposed to be easy. Why should it be easy? If you've been always chaos in your life, would you want it to be any easier? And life tests us every day on our boundaries and our thoughts, hell, even in our fate. But in the end of the day, life is life. Life can be sweet or bad on how you make of it. Don't expect it to be lenient in the further progression of your existence. Some days it's gonna be good, some days you're gonna have hard, some days you're gonna have it worse. You must be able to overcome the rain. You gotta tough it out. All right, let's keep going.
But the problem is that when you're a person of that, and you're a person that believes that because I am quote unquote, and I can call myself Christian, I have authority to now judge and say, oh, I don't want to read this information, it's witchcraft. I don't want to do these things, it's witchcraft. Forgetting that in your Bible, Jesus Christ had a problem with the structure of the church. Jesus Christ would be looked at today kind of like a person who was Muslim, kind of like a person who was into quote unquote what they call sorcery, forgetting that the walk was to tell you what you can do yourself and to follow order. If you operate in this realm, you'll be good. But guess what we doing as women? We understand that we now can create our own God. We now can follow our own self. We want to be liberated from order. Liberate us. And then when women got more liberated, when they became more liberated, men became less prone and more attractive to marriage. And I'll say it again. When women became more liberated, men became less desirable to have a wife. What the is the point of having a wife if this bitch gonna just toss it up Can't tell her nothing. She don't follow no type of rule. Even when I come in her life, it ain't even no rule I can say, oh, I can get behind. Nothing about it. You just out here in the world.
You already know what.
Well, women's liberation was created by the white man. And yes, we're going to go and say who really created the European man, particularly the European Western man, mostly, as well known, where it really ushered in this so-called liberation and the direction of liberating women by, give them jobs, hell, even give them access to certain things. So the necessity of men today is really not much now here in the West, personally. And enough women already know this. So what they do now is they want to control the options or the flow of options by conditioning the future men, right? And what I mean by future men, control the young boys that come out their wombs and condition the so-called, feminist female way of thinking. Because boys supposed to be like boys, act like boys, and do things that are boy things, masculine things, And a lot of women, mothers particularly, they damage their boys. You know what I'm saying? Now, can every woman do this? From what I'm seeing, yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. But for good faith, they do this because you hear it all, especially when it comes to our community, black women especially. They do this because they don't want the thought that these boys will think like patriarchs, like the white man, and it's still some damage to black women, where they say you're gonna oppress them, you're gonna make them go back in the kitchen, all this other nonsense. And I'm saying, well, if you're not moving, operating as a feminine in the nature amongst wolves, what makes sense you moving like the wolf itself in masculine form? Is it better? No, because now you got to pull out your purse, bitch. You got to pay for everything, bitch. And a lot of them don't have a problem because sometimes they might get some money from some random dude and they might be able to, but they don't like it. They really want to keep the money to themselves and spend it on bullshit, man. On bullshit, really. All right. But nonetheless, y'all seen it firsthand. I have to really go into detail. Y'all notice this. So let's keep going. Let's listen to more of this stuff.
God says that's about sex before marriage. You already know that God says to present your body as a living sacrifice. You already know that the Bible says that our bodies are a temple of the Holy Spirit. So if you are rebelling against the word of God and you're like, forget the word of God, I like this guy, I want to have sex with him. When I have sex with him, when I seduce him, he'll stay with me. That's witchcraft and you need to repent. Wait on God for the man that he has for you. The man that God has for you, you do not have to manipulate or seduce to keep him. He will naturally be drawn to you by your godly spirit. God will speak to him and tell him that you are his wife. You don't have to resort to sin in order to keep a man.
Dear Black woman, I hope that this year you're able to liberate yourself from the very things that keep you oppressed. Okay? Say it with me. I don't want Black love. I want what simply loves back.
Listen to her liberating logic. Just listen to the shit that women be like, 2 snaps, honey, yes, honey, yes. Listen to that.
Okay? You want something that's capable of loving Black. Me? There's no way a colorist can ever be capable of loving me. There's no way a misogynoist can ever love me. Okay? Let's be FFR. Okay? Let's be FFR. The logic does not math there. You ladies that tend to idolize things that you're not even its preference. Imagine idolizing something and being loyal to something and you're not even its preference. Okay? When we think about picking better men, I want you to think about men that are more evolved. I'm not saying all men are like this, but there's a handful of men that's very evolved, and there's enough for you not to have to choose a colorist. There's enough for you not to have to choose someone that's misogynistic. Okay? And if there is none, then choose yourself and choose nothing.
Before we continue, let me see how we're doing in the likes, because I've been Let me look, see what's going on with likes. I'm not keeping up. All right. Okay. Well, the likes seem fair. If y'all guys watching it, hit the like button. Likes are free, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. As a matter of fact, I got some better because it looks to me very few people. Let me do this. Make it easier. Make this a little easier. All right, let's continue, guys. Fair use, fair use.
You see how you can almost agree and see where they're coming from. But when you say, if there is not none of this, choose yourself or choose nothing. How about we say, if you operate in these rooms, you are going to attract this. It's like the more the world operates and goes into more knowledge, the dumber we become. If the internet has access to knowledge, why are we still saying things that sound like, girl, if this person don't want to go on your program, then just to hell with it? Because even in my experiences, I can say if I've not been operating under a godly realm, I'm not going to attract anything of such. You can't attract something. You choose something that's not that and then try to make that thing this. That's not where you met them. You met them on Whole Road, or you met them on I Can Do It By Myself Road, or you met them on Fuck These Niggas Road. Wherever you were at that time, that's where you met that.
Women are always going to go out there and try to attract, and I'm going to say this, y'all might have heard this really constantly floating on the social media. They are always looking for suckers, and there's always sucker being produced every day from infant to adult age. And I think, not believe, that there are still a good portion of the male population that are suckers for women, and they're suckers to women that rather give them attention, or they're suckers to women that, let's say, find some women that look pretty decent or good. You know what I'm saying? That they'll augment their bodies, meaning they don't, cheat and get all forms of plastic surgery to make us to look different. And I'm tired of these women using this word baddie. You're not a baddie, baby. You're average as best. Only people that could really use the term baddie, if we are people that are entertainers. If you're not entertain, a well-known entertainer, stop using the word baddie. And even then, I had to question now, because some let themselves go, because some also go under knife more than ever. And let's be honest, one of them put on too much weight, but that's not a story. Anyhow, face.
That's where your mind was. So that's all you were going to get. So now what we do is we get upset with those choices and we start to say, that nigga wasn't this. What I've learned to do is get upset with myself and say, I knew I was doing this. I just blame myself. Even though they may have a responsibility in the way it made you feel, it was totally me. I had no business allowing somebody there. I know that I have to work on this. I know that I have to elevate on this. I had no business. This is not what I want to be. I don't care if it takes me 10 years. It will take me 10 years. That's just what it is. We are not, just because you can have a baby, just because you're designed to have those things, just because he can do this, does not mean you're supposed to. You're not there yet. I don't care if your time clock say, yeah, but I'm already 30. I'm already 40 and I want to have a baby. And so forget the order. I'm just going to go have a baby. That's still not, you're still asking for problems that are going to be traumatic. You're operating in rebellion. That's definitely selfish. This is why we create a society of women in the church okay with multiple kids out of wedlock, and the church better not say a mother thing. This is how we create those realities. It does not matter if you're saying I'm a certain age and I want to be married and have all this by 30. Guess what you should have done when you were 16? Guess what you should have done? And I'm so sorry. Our parents did not set us up like this. But once you became responsible for your own actions, whether or not you agree with it, honey, it is the truth. So that means that when you got to a certain age, or when you know you want certain things, you have to be responsible for the choices today, unless you plan on dying. If I know I want to have this by the age in the next 5 years, that means what I do today and so on and so forth is going to affect that and either make that a reality or not. It's literally that simple.
nothing to do
Do
with how
it,
you
yeah.
feel.
It
Nah.
does,
No,
bro.
it
I'm
does
not.
not.
Listen, what I'm
You
not.
speak to majority black women, so that's where your opinion
And
is
that's
coming
all I
from.
hear. But I don't hear. You know why? Because you know how I could tell? Because the marriage rates in these other women are significantly higher than in the black community.
True.
So
Because
don't
they're
come to me
going-
talking about
they're
these other
going-
women is
Absolutely.
saying this
They're
because
going
they're
with
still
people.
getting married at the end of the day.
Let's listen to how they kind of justify. And my bad, they justify why. Like when women say stuff like it don't matter because we ain't gotta get married. Oh, niggas, we don't matter. I think I agree with the message why we're not gonna marry men if we don't see this. But to think that you're going to see the thing when you're not operating under that thing either is delusional. You should probably check out some screws up there. You know what I'm saying? Your elevator stuck.
No woman is checking those screws because in their mind, as long as they're able to give up the box and men want to give the phallus and inject them and shoot up the club, most modern women, let's say black women, since we're talking about black folks leaving the church, but especially black women, they're fine with it. The only time when it's a big issue when the men, not a lot, but a good percentage of them, start withdrawing the phallus, pulling back, and say, like, really pull. Pulling back. Yeah, I get the point. Yeah, let me keep going. Very soon.
And it ain't going to the top. You know what I'm saying? So let's look at how this directly affects you, because what happens when you're a rebellious woman, when you start saying stuff that's more selfish, you are forgetting your duty to mankind. That means when life come out of you and you make the conscious decision to not procreate, to also not nurture life on here, to not do anything, you are deceitful and you are demonic in nature. You are moving out of order. Whether you like it or not, you have a purpose on this. And it ain't to get you a new Benz. It's not to get you this house. It's not so a nigga could buy you some fancy ass Van Cleef bracelet, even though I love a Van Cleef. If you love me, go ahead and send it to me, okay? Because it's the 4 Clover and you know. But
I don't know what the hell that is, person. Anybody know what that is? A Van Cleef? You know what that is? Type in the wait, hold on. Yeah, type in the chat room. I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know if that's some type of jewelry or some nonsense. Fairies.
it is not for that type of stuff. You are. What is the purpose of you being here if you're only fulfilling yourself? Why do you get a rise out of men's demise and men crying out in many different ways as to them wanting a woman, wanting a family, wanting to be with someone? And oh well, when you got to do this, you got to do this. Oh well, I ain't about to be with nobody who do this. Oh, why do we get gratification out of men suffering and dying at a younger age because they're not married? When we could just say, oh, I can go be with my kids and my sister, I can do the Golden Girls thing, which I understand, but
I'll tell you why women enjoy it. They lavish it. They thrive on men suffering because in their mind, men are bad, men are evil. And you know who's the most evil man right now on the face of the planet? To the eyes of Western women, particularly black women? The black man. Black man. Black man. Black man. Black man is the one that's the face of enigma, the evil. That's why they will do and like to see you suffer, like see you in pain. I'm not lying. And it goes beyond a lot of giving you that resting bitch face. Oh no, it goes beyond that. Beyond that, they just don't like you. They rather tread on earth by themselves before pairing up and being your mate, your husband, wherever you want to call it. All right, let that sink in.
check ourselves. Why does that give you?
Oh, and one other thing. I see more people watching. Likes are free. Hit the like button. One other thing I do want to say. Having these girlfriends and all stuff is giving off licky girl vibes, if y'all know what I mean. I'll leave that. Very serious.
Fulfillment, because like he's about to say, even the women that started feminism that were not look like you, that we even now would say if we compare you to that you hate, even when those women were saying this, they still was with their men. What is wrong with you? Where you think you better than me without me, and no other culture, it shows to you you're not even good enough because none of your men want to be with you. That's what it looks like.
Community.
Because
But
they're
don't
going-
talking about
they're
these other
going-
women is saying
They're
that because
going
they're
with
still
people.
getting married at the end of the day. These
Okay.
But I say it again. They view you and think like this because you're beneath them. You are the enigma of evil, the epitome of it. Some that why I should do this. It's beyond that you're a Negro. You are bad. You're evil. You're everything that I have either experienced firsthand or I've seen firsthand through television. You are direct descendants of Satan. So you do not deserve not only respect, but I don't deserve to give you compliance or what they consider submission nowadays, which a lot of women find evil. But everywhere else, people would submit regardless. But that's not a story. All right, let's keep going.
feminists, these white feminists
Okay.
that black women are want to march for,
Yes.
they're the ones that's still getting married, even though they're preaching to black women, hey, you don't need a man, they're going home to their husbands. This is how I know
Respectfully.
black women have been finessed with feminism because the feminists are married to their white husbands, while black women think they don't need a husband.
He pursued me a year prior to this.
Listen to the logic here, right? This is a prime example of when black women, and I'm saying black because I care about us above all, sorry, as far as our community. When we think that we don't need some, look how crazy we sound when we can't wait to be rebellious. We start rationalizing dumb shit.
Yes.
Right.
And so he kept trying, and he would see me out.
Why didn't, within that year he pursued you, what made you not want him?
I thought he was too nice. I thought I would walk all over him, and I was going.
I thought he was too nice. I don't know what it is. There is this thought out there, this desire out there. I want me a soldier. I want me a hard dude. I want me this and that and the other thing. And those are the worst guys to get because they're not
It's
nice
true.
to you.
But listen, and a lot of dudes understands. You know, a lot of these Mac game pimps or people that are out here in the field tell you, you must be mad. You gotta be bad in a way. You gotta show some form of aggression when you're dealing with the ladies, especially with the sisters, because they don't respect you and vibrate, unfortunately, on aggression. It's very rare you find a woman you come across that doesn't like that and more vibrate how you treat them and they like the more nicer, softer things, which is fine. But overall, most women nowadays, they want that thuggy thug. That not that thug love, but it's that around the notion of a thug around them. You know what I'm saying? That was tell them, say, sit down, bitch. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? Or even go as far as give them that pimp slap, you know, like that dude on The Wire. And y'all know what episode I'm talking about. That dude, when all this was calling and hollering her, she was ignoring him, and then all of a sudden this dude walked up to her and just gave her a good swap in her face. And then she eventually healed, unfortunately. But hey, God love him. Very.
This is the good guy conversation. This is probably the most clear reason we say, I don't want to, he's just too nice. So you want a nigga that's not nice. You want a man that does not like you. You do know a man that's nice to you is the one that's going to do the things that you're trying to get the one that's not nice to you to do. Does that make sense? Or is it the fact that that person doesn't fit the aesthetic? Because you're all about image. You're all about the exterior of things. And when you're about the exterior of things, you are not operating in spirit, honey. What's on the outside, your flesh. What's on the inside, your spirit. Literally 1 + 1 = 2.
It's
And
true.
you get a nice guy and you're worried, like, I don't want him. Why wouldn't you want a nice guy? I mean, they always say nice guy finish last. That's because women are foolish.
I agree.
Complaint is that this man cooks too often and too well, and he made me gain weight. Mrs. Lucas, have you lost your mind?
I
have women coming in here whose men are leaving them because they got too heavy. You got heavy based on his. They won't cook, they won't clean, they won't pick up the house, they're controlling, they're unkind. You have got a guy who cooks for you. You have got a guy who doesn't care what size you are. You have got a guy who, who tells you that he loves you without being prompted or looking for sex. And you're telling me that you want to leave him because he treats a good black woman, which we're going to have to qualify.
And I want to say, if y'all seen this episode, this woman complained about everything. She had kids with her that he was taking care of. He always cooked for her. He rubbed her feet. He made sure all the kids was fed, bath, water, rent, everything while working. Okay. She then said he was doing a job in somewhere, and she complained about him taking those extra hours away from her. You're not helping me with the kids. You're not doing all this. He took regular hours. Then she wanted to become a comedian, right? And where she would choose to tour and all of this. When they separated, while they was together, he would watch the kids still and support. And he would say, hey, I kind of want to see you more. I want to have my wife. She complained about that. But when it was him on the other end, he didn't have enough time for her. And it was a problem. So then she wants to become a comedian. They separated. Then she had her 14-year-old daughter watching her 8 and 7-year-old.
One other thing. And I've done content on this about the single mother thing, right? Which I do not like. I don't like it at all. Personally, I do not like it. That women with children, right? It's not only a flex, but you hurt yourself further down, especially if you want more children by multiple men. A lot of men, let's be honest, when we know you have kids, and I heard some stupid video fooling around, and I'm going to go there, how someone said they're going to just lie to men up front and let them spend money and fall in love before they start telling they got kids. Listen, bitch, if you're going to lie to a dude, it's better if you just lay out what you are, what you want. Yeah, that was my favorite. I know it just dropped when I said, but I'm keeping it real. You might as well do that. Because one thing a man will not stand or hate is a woman that will come in your life and will sit there, play the fence, and then throw it on you that I got a couple kids. Now, God forbid if you're not even giving the pum-pum or the box, right? But this man invested time and energy and resource towards, which I don't agree, but let's go to he investing a little bit. And to come find out that you already have a made family. It's the worst sickness thing any person could demand or expect. So, anyhow.
Where he was available to do stuff and be a parent there and father and do all that. So instead of me being under his order and his vision and his rule, I'm going to actually rebel against that. And then I'd rather have my older daughter taking care and watching my kid. Selfish. Anything that's you're selfish in nature. You cannot help but think about yourself.
Like good black women, a queen ought to be treated. And what you're doing is taking I am a self-centered individual. And I don't appreciate what a man has brought to my table. So I'm going to make up some stupid reason to say what it is. It's stupid. And I very rarely say that about anybody. Do I, Joe? I don't say things are stupid. Very rarely, because people have odd points of view. That's okay. But that's stupid.
How not to let a man control you. Be smart. Always have a backup.
Let me just say this. I had to throw her in here. I had to because she represents the millions of podcasts. She represents, and this isn't just female, she represents the millions of messages that help you become more rebellious. They don't even speak from a place of godliness. They don't speak from a place of anything that has to do outside of you being selfish, outside of self-righteousness. They can't speak from any place other than that. And she represents that, because at face value, you'll agree with some things, but then you realize, why do I agree with this? This isn't gearing me towards the thing that I want to do. Why listen to messages that tell you you're better without men if in fact you want one? Don't you think you're going to be downloading more of that into your spirit and starting to walk that out in the world when you go on these dates? You don't think that it's coming off exuding energy, whether how you ask questions, whether it be how you talk about certain things? You don't think that that's not coming off as if a person knows that you're rebellious and you're going to probably not be a long-term relationship when you download and you consume messages that go against what you want to do? Why would I listen to a message that says I'm better without the thing? Like, these are the same women that said they listen to Beyonce through and through, but then they're going to dig up, cater to you and say, oh no, bitch, you was going too far, Destiny's Child. We're not really trying to cater to these niggas. Like, what? If you lack the ability to be a servant, if you lack the ability to be a giver or anything like that, as far as out of a womanly space to cater, why would anybody want to be with some shit like that?
I'll tell you a person that will be with that. Men that have no self-confidence, that don't respect oneself. The men that let's be fair and honest. We feel that just having a woman is good enough, and if she's gone, then that's all's lost. You're gonna have a cold slump. You might not have any potential access or the possibilities of having intercourse with other women. These are unfortunately gentlemen that have no options and don't exercise options. You have these problems. But if you're a man that always have an abundance and always know that a lineup of girls is a necessity, and always good to have around your phone or everywhere. So when one goes down, you got someone around. You should always have that, at least. Come think about it, gentlemen. Who should have options? And I should do a show on this in detail. Who should have the options, men and women, in regards to having mates? Yeah, I'm gonna do a show on that. Yeah, write that down. All right, let's keep on. Very serious.
Why? Like, I don't think we want to do. We sitting online talking about we want a generous man. We want a man that thinks of us. We want a man that puts us first in a lot of different things. We want all of these things, but who are you putting first? Because then when you ask normal women, and they'll be like, okay, does he come first? First against what? For what? As long as he doing this and the other, he can come first. But other than that, that nigga's like the scum of my fucking shoe. But I'm supposed to die for you, bitch? You want me to put my life on the line, and you think that you too good for me? How about you die for us then? Since you the one that's the protector, you the smarter one. How about you jump in front of the bullet?
Always have a plan B, C, maybe. Never tell him the complete whole truth about you. That way he don't know how to get to you. He don't know your triggers. He don't know how to get under your skin because you didn't tell him how. See, you got to be smart. So controlling men seem to like to isolate you from other people and friends and family. So just lie and say that you don't talk to somebody no more, even though you talk to them every day. Just lie. Go ahead, lie. Why don't talk to them anymore? Lie.
You should never have to be in a situation where you need to lie. If he's showing signs where he needs to take you away from your family, isolate you, like, I feel like you should be smart enough in your walk in the spirit to know this is not accurate. First of all, you wouldn't leave. You wouldn't even be on a date there. You'd be like, okay, I think I should go. How to get this far where he can isolate you? Now, let's say he did come somewhere good. You in this situation and it's scary and it's dangerous. Then I can understand you lying yourself out of the situation. But typically, this isn't the first incident. So to take a message that says, you know what, just lie to him. If he wants to do this, the man's not gonna do this. A man's not gonna do this. Just dismiss him. A lot of her messages are like that. If he want to tell you this, he can't tell you nothing like that. You need to get rid of him. And do what, bitch? Come live at your house? Like, what is the message when these women say that? It's kind of gay. Like, it kind of sounds like the men that all their messages is against being with a woman.
Well, let's be clear. When we talk about what they consider gay, right? Let's look at that, right? More women are interacting more with other women more than ever. From my standpoint, I've been seeing this trend constantly increasing every year, and even go as far as every decade. On women engage and doing things, and being with other women. I've been seeing this trend now for the last over 20 years now, to be honest with you. I could say some part start maybe more greater than 20, 25 more years, but it really starts to really show its nasty head around the 2000s, in my opinion. And if you're there, Mr. Hustler and Musler, you might speak firsthand about this, brother, if you're in the chat room, right? Have you noticed, because you're 80s baby, right? Have you noticed that the trend of women interacting, being more women, start to increase in the 2000s? I think you're now 40 now, Hustler. So around when you're in your late teens, going 20s, you probably might notice this. If not, let me know in the chat room. And please, guys, support the channel. You know what it is. Don't be stingy. This is Chaos Reign channel. Support the channel.
I want my money. I told you. Where is my money? Betty, bring me everyone. I need my money. I need my money. What do you mean everyone? Everyone!
Support the channel, guys. Fairies.
Messages is negative about women, and it's like, okay, so then why do you want to be with women? Is nothing wrong if that's your root?
The question about women interact with other women, meaning you see women more friendly, more dancing with each other. You know, the scenes where you see that it's more, they're being more bi-curious. That's what I mean. If you can't follow the question, just keep watching the channel. All right, let's go. Various.
If that's your sexuality, but it starts to seem very, very gay. So as a woman, if everything about a man is negative, I'm like nothing about it. I'm like, you either want a woman or you really want to be just by yourself.
Another way to have, control over a controlling man is to tell him whatever you want. It's your way. And then they'll start to see.
She's speaking about her husband because she's married. Remember, y'all forgot Miss Shira 7 was a side piece at best, side booty at best to a man that's already married. Let that sink in. For all you ladies that's taking advice, she was a side piece to a married man. And eventually, the married man, whether he was coerced or whatever, left his wife to be with her. After being with her, I think she had her baby before she got married. Now I think about it personally, because she only has one kid. So you could do the math. Not saying she was a single mother, but she was able to convince the dude that she was messing around with, the side piece, to put a ring on her and get rid of her. I'm just saying. And trust me, the game that she's running on y'all to teach, she's trying to tell you how she got her man. But it's not going to apply to all men. Because the man she got is a man that's maybe almost 20-year difference from her, roughly. I could be wrong. So keep that in mind when who you getting your advice from. I read y'all ladies listen to Nicole Michelle better than anything, because she has a curriculum, a school, and an actual coaching session, mentor session, which you go out to pay if you want to learn. And it's not going to be cheap either. Just saying. Yes, that's right, Mr. Side Chick Turned Wife. That's how she got him. Various ways.
How controlling they are and how you're not even happy. So they're going to feel as if you are probably looking for a way out. So they're going to try to back off, And so if you mention how controlling they are every time that they try to do something, it's going to get to them. So even if it's a fun way to do it, like, okay, Mr. Controlling, okay, got to control everything around here. Okay, nobody else can have none of that. Give them
What does controlling everything around you look like? Is it seen as a negative thing if a man has to control everything in the house? If you want him, I just really have a general question. If you want him to pay for everything, you want him to take care of everything, why can't he control everything? Or is the message more so, I want you to pay and for everything. I want you to protect everything, but it's when I tell you to do it.
Yes.
It's based on what I think it should be.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know. Y'all.
No, I know what it is. What she's telling you, Miss Lucky, with Lucky Charm Marie, is that women want to have all the luxuries of being a woman without any responsibility, and want to be what they consider the queen of everything and have servants around her. You do this, slave. You do this. Give me your money. Give me this. Don't question me. Don't you goddamn question me. That's how Western black women want to roll here. And they only focus keenly on the black man. The black man, Jerry. In general. Let them take that crap to another community. They won't even allow it. Hell, some of them will let you whiff their phallus before you control them. And it's very rare you find a lot of non-black people being controlled by black women. I rarely see it. Very rare. It's really the opposite. It's reverse. The woman will act a certain way and will pay the non-black man everything, including what's in their purse. We see a lot of that going around, personally. For those that don't know. Like, really don't know. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Tell me, because that's what it kind of sounds like to me. And when they say stuff like this, like, you can't tell me what to do. Why? Like, what does that mean? You can't tell me what to do? Like, then who the can? God, first of all, if you ain't listening to God, I can't tell you what to do. These bitches don't care about. If she don't care about disobeying God, like, you heard what they said about the purity, to the point where even it's like, oh, I'm about to throw this purity ring off because I can't just abstain from sex. When they
Yeah, man, that purity ring get women crazy. I didn't know there was such thing as purity ring. Now that I'm recapping and continue on to this type of stream, right? That if you gotta wear something on your finger to ward you from having intercourse, right? And say that I must refrain from sucking another man's, I must refrain of going on the carousel. I must refrain from doing all this so that one day I can grab to and attract a highly productive man. Hell, if he is considered high value, I will love it even better. All these games, all this manifestation, all this bull crap, right? And to come out, you come out snake eyes at the end of the day. That means that don't work. You need to find a new hustle. You need to do something different. Just saying. All that you did for nothing. For nothing. All right, let's continue.
You know that got them putting the ring on in the first place is telling them, hey, they believe that they're so fearful of hell. If they really believe hell existed and all this type of stuff, they don't give a about going to hell to the point where they want to get the dick. That should tell you they don't give a fuck about following you. You less great than God that they feel like they serve. Does that even make sense?
Nope. But women don't always make sense. Listen, this is my thing. Black folks are scared of hell. Let's keep real. Let's keep real. Let's have this conversation. I don't know how long I did this video on this, but I feel like I want to synthesize it into a chapter, really. And I might. They think they are the devil. They think they're the enigma of hell, subconscious because of their skin tone, of the race they are in. Being black is not a flex. It's not no badge on. Personally. It is looked as shame, evil, something to ward off, something to get rid of. That is in the psychology of majority of black folks globally, not just here in the West, but globally. Because over there in the West Indies and over there in Africa, they have a same mindset as all. They have the same mindset, really, as they are bad, they're evil, etc. Hell, look at their judges, especially in Africa. They're wearing white European wigs on, like it was in the 16 effing hundreds. If that's not self-hate, I don't know what is. I'm sorry. I digress. Let's continue.
They believe that they'll go to hell if they disobey, but I'm still going to disobey because my flesh is that strong. and you can't control me. What?
Nickname, baby. By the way, boss, when I get paid, jokes. That's another way to control somebody, is joking with them, because they don't know whether to take you seriously or not, but what's being said is still being heard. Okay. Or, make him feel as if that is not even a power. Like, oh, that's so cute. You like to control everything. Oh.
Make him feel powerless. That is insane.
It's like, oh, that's so cute. You have to control everything, don't you? Chastise him. And he'll be like, I don't have to control everything. I just
chastise him, aka make him feel like a kid, reprimand him, sun him, demote him, emasculate him, abuse him. If he ever tries to get out of order and tell you what to do, guide you, forgetting that that's what he's there for. Guidance, leadership. What does leadership look like to a slew of women that said we're not doing that until we get a leader? Do you think a leader is going to do you think that you as a woman is going to actually recognize this? Like, were you ever in any sport where you can recognize coaching, or were you the person to cry and say I quit because I don't like it so harsh? When really the purpose of the person being there is to make you better. I see that you needed me. I said, let me lift you up and bring you here. Let me bring you here. It's crazy how a lot of women today look for ways to demote men. When men look for a woman that they can exalt and elevate in status, such as making her his wife. How the do we get here where we have more men looking for women to just one woman to elevate in love, but you have more women showing and being loud to where it gets harder to find that one woman, because you have a plethora of women that are like this, that are saying we are going to demote these niggas the minute that they want to rise up and think that they can over and be superior to us because we are superior. Does that make any sense? That is sad if you think about it.
Like the way to go, oh, okay, well, do you have OCD? You're very controlling. Have you ever seen a therapist about that? Girl, call him out. And that way it doesn't even become a problem, because now he's insecure about if he sounds controlling or not. Wait a minute, do I sound controlling? And so he'll start to fix himself if you nip it in the bud as soon as you see it. Okay? Just nip it right on in the bud. As soon as he tells you something crazy, you're like, you have control issues, don't you? Oh, are you in therapy?
I'm so tired of y'all on this religion stuff.
Like I said, mind games, manipulation, well known from that chick. That's why she has the following she has today. And one of them even blame her for her decisions of getting married to a set high value man, older man, which she's tried to shine that is not. But we all know the truth. A lot of women don't want to take no accountability for a lot of things. A lot of these female content creators that's pushing fake femininity, which it is. Very fake. Very serious.
I'm tired of the way that so many of y'all use this religion thing as a reason to just be terrible humans, to shame people who don't make the same decisions as you, discriminate against others, to harm and to hurt. Religion at its core should simply just be a conduit between you and a spiritual power. That's what it should be. And within that conduit to spiritual power, you and the other people who share that same conduit share community. That's it. But no, so many of you all consider religion to be a belief system that allows you to not accept realities that make you uncomfortable. It makes you uncomfortable because your identity is rooted in fear, not love. And that, my dears, is not a conduit to a higher power. What it is a fast track to hatred and ignorance and low vibration behavior. Namaste.
And that is the part where I think we have to understand, because it's all cool and all to say, I want to be a person responsible for my own things. I am a child of God. I am a woman of God. All of that seems cool, but all of that is lip service. If you are one of the few things that we went over as far as being rebellious, all of that is just lip service, because what are your actions saying? If a man can't tell you, hey, I think you should be more mindful of the things that you wear outside. I think that you should, if you're on this journey and you're looking for a husband, you should probably try to exercise modesty. I think you should probably try these things. When they say, for what? So what? So you think if I change my clothes, it's gonna stop a man from having sex with me? Or anybody who looks at anything that men do as negative, degeneracy, but when you talk about women, they make excuses for it. They have reasons, they have justifications. And you know what's interesting? Most of the time, those are women that I see now, like the older women that have that way of thinking, they're married. So it makes me think about the men that they're married to. They have to be miserable, which means that this makes sense with the statistic that shows a lot of married men are suffering. They're on suicide watch. They have a lot of these mental health issues where they're in depression, and so then they need outlets. So there was definitely a large part of men that came out to say that they could not feel like they can express themselves in marriages. And a lot of the times when women leave, they leave them in stages where they're unable to express certain things. So
But it goes to show you, let's go back to this again, how much you're in control if you're a man in these marriages. Oh, if y'all guys want to me to drop the call link to really have a conversation on this stream, let me know now in the chat room. If not, forever holy peace. It's like this. How much are you really the head household, that house? Because you should be able to come to your woman, your wife, and express the frustration or anything that goes on in this house, or things that's not going your way, at least. Because you and her are one. So one hand is not working, the other one should be working. In meaning that you should not be in any environment where it's more stressful than it already has to be. If you can't voice your frustrations like that, and this woman's going to either agree with you, either nurture you, or give you hell, it's, if she's giving you hell, then really she might not be your wife or the one that should be for you, unfortunately. And you have to make a decision if you're going to stay or go. I never understand how men will be in relationships and then things stop. They said the Western woman today is not really a wife or does not desire to be wife. They rather be and become husbands in nature than a wife. You must serve them. That's how this thing goes. I'm not supposed to serve you. I'm not supposed to do wifey dues or do things that will uphold my end of the bargain. You should do this for me. Very use. That sounds like a marriage of hell, in hell.
you are in a place where you feel like you're better than things or you're too good for these certain things, based on scripture, as a woman, you will be operating out of order and self-righteousness. And if you are in a place of self-righteousness, how can you find anything that is pleasurable?
And guys, y'all watch now. Make sure like button is hit. If you're viewing or you're commenting or whatever, be interactive in today's stream. Give me a like or comment, and please support the channel. Let's go.
In the spiritual realm, you just cannot do it, which really anything about marriage is all led by spirit first. Now, I don't know if some people would disagree with that. You can say it's a contractual agreement. I'm talking about what it was before the government got a hold to it. I'm talking about what it is not going to be something that we can get back to. I just don't think so. I think that this is all good to talk about, but it's definitely something that's over, because if you have more women out here willing to be rebellious and not really do things in nature, that feel like simple task is slavery, that feels like simple task is doing too much. What am I getting out of this? They need a fucking incentive to do anything that means pleasurable to mankind and them as a woman and their purpose. Then that just kind of tells you who they are based on the fruit. Now, like I said, I did put the link somewhere if somebody wanted to come ask questions. If not, we are going to wrap this.
Nope, that's it. All right. Y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. In my analysis, the church is at this point, and with TD Jakes, if he's rather sick or wherever his health condition, if he transitions now, right, the churches ain't gonna do no better or any greater. Rather, he's still around or not, personally. And that's just the honest truth for those that don't know. And like most pastors, he's only a front runner to continue the delusions and, let's be honest, to keep a lot of women single, miserable, and lonely. So, in conclusion to all this, the church served this purpose for Black people today. And the purpose is more the programming, more I wouldn't say delusions, but more of a one-sided mindset. And let's be honest, the church only purpose today is to make you more of a submissive, docile consumer, i.e. slave, for lack of better words. And like most institutions, they only here for a short period of time, and if they do not fulfill the obligations, they will be gone like anything else, like any other institution. Most corporations, once they don't make money, they're no longer in business. It's that simple. The church, with the help of either 501c3s or anything that the government subsidize, and I'm not sure Project 2025 includes the church. I don't think they do, because church is supposed to be nonprofit, not controlled by the government. But we all know that's a lie, because we know the policies put in place back in the early 2000s under, I think, the Bush administration about the church and government. I don't know what it was. Y'all guys gotta look it up. But let's be honest. If women start to no longer be a part of the church, then it is the end, the conclusion of these churches, especially the Black church in America. Because right now, for all y'all know, the only thing that's holding the church today is, and I mean is, women. And women are starting to come to realization and conclusions about what the church really offers them now. They will start leaving in mass like anybody else. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. What else I want to add on here? I'm just checking, guys. Oh, one other thing I do want to say before I wrap up. As the year wind down, right? And some people are going to do some more changes, right? I heard stories about where possibly YouTube might be going, or where they're heading, or YouTube's in trouble financially because of their censorship. I look at YouTube as a platform, as a means to another end, for those that don't know. This should not be the end all be all of any content or anything you do, regardless of getting information from. You should be checking and exploring all other media outlets, and you should be getting your information from all different sources. And I mean all different sources. What's this? The devil is a liar. The very gates of hell will never open against the church. You cannot use all caps. If you use all caps, the bot will remove it. I will expect people, if you're gonna be capitalizing on here, it better be on super chat preferably. But all caps moving forward are not allowed on this channel. If you want a message to be heard, write in proper grammar sentence. We don't use all caps when writing a whole sentence. We use one cap. Everything is lowercase. Everything. It is proper English. I'm not sure why a lot of y'all now that's doing that. And I think that's cute. I see too much men that's not consequence doing, and I see too much women doing that. You should not be writing all caps anyway. And I think why they do is because they want their message to be seen. That's not allowed. That's when you look at most channels. To those that don't know, they don't read your comment if they have a substantial audience that's up to 50 or more, or 100 or 200, 300 people more in the chat room. They will not read your comment. Because one thing they notice when you put all caps, you're trying your message to be well known to everybody else, and some people are writing properly. Can't do that. That's considered spamming. So if you put some in the chat room, let you be known, the bot will catch now. One time I was thinking of removing that portion of my channel, but I would look at there's two people come around here and they writing all caps, and I don't understand why is that. Everybody else is writing proper except the few people doing it, and I find that to be unprofessional, lazy, and downright, ghetto. So please, if you come to the chat room, write clearly, write with less caps. Your message will be read if it needs to be read. Usually, if you support the channel, it'll get read much further. All right. So for those, that's a disclaimer. For those that's on this channel, watch this channel. YouTube is gonna be YouTube at the end of the day, for those that don't know. And another thing, I will say this personally. I noticed most people that got right off YouTube and eventually made their way back here slowly or surely for every reason, is you have to play somewhat of the fair game with YouTube, because YouTube only lives off people that gives them advertisers, and the advertiser's not paying them, you do not get paid. It's that simple. Only people that don't have to worry about advertising like that so far for now is Rumble. Let that sink in. Out of all platforms, Rumble is the only platform they don't have to worry about advertisers. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Anywho, what else I got? All right. I guess people have nothing to say. Come up on the panel. I guess I'll wrap this up. I'd like to thank everybody for listening to today's stream. I truly appreciate it. If you have any thoughts or opinions, or wherever you have a problem with, let me know in the comment section of this video. Also, make sure to follow my other channels, other social media sites, and links to follow me are in the description, and I'll give it to you now. Follow me on Twitter at ChaosRain7. Add me on a friend on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. Join my Discord service. Follow my Rumble handler, CRain23 on Rumble. Also, what else? Oh, and last but not least, become a member of the Chaos Rain Show as well. All membership have its perks, like always. Thank y'all for listening. Oh, be on the lookout for the next stream. I have a special guest. I remember. I gotta tell you what. If you want to know, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that top notification bell for all uploads and live streams here on the Chaos Rain Show. You're not gonna be disappointed. Trust me, trust me. All right. Thank y'all for watching. Until next time, let it chaos reign.